Testing one, two, three. Okay. This is going to be a little messy, but we're just going to go through with it. Hello, my name is Paige, and welcome to We Just Want You to Read. This time, I will not be doing a haul. I'll be talking about hauls. What is a haul? It is when you take books that are on the shelf at the store and you buy them, you bring them home, and you talk to the internet about them. So now that we know what a haul is, let's get into talking about walking the line between reading and overconsumption. Let's do it. Okay, so it starts with reading. For my personal story, I think I've shared it before, but if not, I was not a go get 'em reader. I had a TV in my room and I thought that's the way to do things. I watched TV all the time. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I would turn the TV on and watch until I fell back asleep, and on ad nauseum. One day, my mom walked into my room and was like, "You got to read more." And I was like, "What am I supposed to do? I don't know." She took my TV, told me I had to read a book a week. I was like in fourth grade, so a book wasn't that big of a thing. I had to read a book a week and basically give her a book report at the end of each week to prove that I actually read the books. And that is what I did for a long time. There were different books throughout my reading journey that re-sparked my voracious love of reading. Just different things here and there, like Charlie Bone, Dealing with Dragons, Garth Nix, different things like that. I would find a new book and I would just be obsessed. So it kept me going for a while. But before she had said that, I didn't even think about books. I didn't think it was a thing. And I kind of did that on and off throughout school until I got to college, where there is very little time when you're adjusting to just read for fun, because you're reading all this other stuff for school and it's just, you just don't have time. So I fell off the wagon again. And then towards my sophomore, junior year, got back on the horse and I was leaning more into paranormal romance ebooks, things that I could read on my phone because it was just easier that way. And my phone was with me all the time. It wasn't until after college that I discovered BookTube. I think it was the BookTubeathon that I discovered. And I found this whole new world of people who just love books and are reading all the time. And it was just, oh my gosh. It was Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram, all those things. I really got into it. I think Darren could even vouch for that because I've been trying to get her into it and she's like, "Nah, I'm good." But one of the things that I noticed a lot of booktubers had was hauls. They would have 30, 50, 90 book hauls. And I'm just like, who has time to read all those books? And they would do like one a week or two a month or something like that. And I'm just like, how are they doing this? And you just get so caught up in the newness of books and how new they are and how many options there are. It's like having a bookstore in your own home. And I loved it. There were other things. There's tag videos and different things, but hauls were a staple because they're easy to do. Because the more you see a book, the more likely you are to buy it down the line. So you see all these influencers buying these books. You see Family Lore 100 times. You're eventually going to just pick up Family Lore. Hauls are just a part of the books to space, and they're simple. Like I said at the beginning, you buy a book, you show the internet, you're done. You don't even have to edit that much, supposedly. They have great views. Normally, I guess a haul could have hundreds of views for a small booktuber, thousands if you're a big booktuber, even more on Book Talk. It's just crazy. Especially if you're monetized. If you're monetized, you're getting even more money for the videos, and they're easy to make. and it offsets that amount of money that you're spending on the books. And if it's your job, you can make it as a tax write-off, so it's even better. Um, if you're just getting into bookish social media, hauls sound like a really good idea, and you might make some. You could shop your shelves or something before you go out and buy 90 books for your your books account. But maybe you don't even have a book count. Maybe you'll do that without cameras. But it still feels really good to buy a bunch of books that you're interested in and put them on your shelves and look at them. It's a nice feeling. So, what happens when you are buying faster than you read? What if you're in a reading slump and you're only getting a dose of good feelings when you're shopping for books? That's the question. What happens when you buy 30 books every time you go to the bookstore? Not even 30, let's make it small. What happens when you buy 10 books, 5 books when you go to the bookstore every time you go to the bookstore, but you only read 2 books a month? Eventually, one's going to outsize the other. So you're buying faster than you read. What happens when you have a reading slump, which is when you stop reading for a limited amount of time and you're just like, I don't want to read anything. I want to be a lump and do something else. Not a lump, but you want to do something else. And so you're not reading. What happens when you keep buying because it feels good? Well, you get a pile of books that you haven't read, and people start to talk about overconsumption at best and hoarding at worst. Depends on how bad the situation has gotten. It happens like it can happen that suddenly. And a lot of people don't know how to stop this train. But there's different things you can do. You can stop watching the YouTube videos that are influencing you. You can watch review videos. Nowadays, there's a lot of book buying and not as much talking about the books we've actually read. It's just, hey, look at this book, and here's the summary, which I've done before. But here's this book, and look at the summary. Not so much as, I read this book, and let's discuss the complex themes inside of it. I mean, that happens too. It's just, I don't think it gives as many views. Sometimes people get lost in the spending money to support their favorite author or the book industry in general, which is valid, totally valid. But books can pile up and it can become like an ingestion game. You're just bringing in, not actually digesting or moving out anything. I mean, this is a capitalist society, as most are, and we are consumers. It's to be expected that you do buy something sometimes, but we can do other things. We have power in other ways. People are discussing how books are the new fast fashion. We gotta do something to combat that. There's more and more videos coming up about that. And it's like, does anyone have an answer? Probably not, but there are some suggestions that are becoming part of book culture because more people in the bookish realm are discovering and talking about these things. So we're going to talk about it. I don't know about fixing it, but here's a suggestion or two. We're definitely going to have to wake up and realize that buying books can be a help to the publishing industry and your favorite authors, but you can support them in different ways. Reading books on your shelves is a great thing that you can do. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's what the books are there for. Yeah, so trying that. I like calling it shop my shelves. Books that I'm like, oh man, I really want to read that book. And then I was like, oh, I have it. And then just going and picking it up and reading it then. Getting books from your local library supports authors because the library has to get a lot of copies of a book in order for there to be a good circulation rate. So getting books that support getting the books to your library supports your authors, and it also supports your community. So don't forget about your local libraries. Also, this one, I don't know. Listening to audiobooks is a debated topic, but I think audiobooks are grand and fantastic. And listening while you travel and commute, instead of getting like another hardback and you can listen to the media, is really cool to me. And if you do something like Libro FM, you can support your local bookstores as well when you make your purchase. So that supports your community, that supports the vocal artist, and it supports the author. it's a win-win-win. So those are just a couple ways you can help combat overconsumption if you want to. You don't have to. It's just an idea. Um, that's all I have to say about overconsumption and book hauls for right now. If you have any questions or would like to discuss it further, just make a comment, like, comment. And next week will be a Darren video. So this has been We Just Want You to Read. Bye.